Hi, this is Alana. I'm gonna be doing some drawing and also building this Pokemon model kit of Mimikyu. I finally managed to get a Mimikyu model. I've managed to find a lot of the Pikachu and Eevees, but I haven't found any of my other favorite Pokemons like, you know, Mimikyu or like that fairy one, or my favorite one, my little fox, you know, the nine-tailed fox, and it's, forget its name. I'm not great with names, but anyway, I'm gonna do doing a little bit of drawing. I'm gonna try and draw some mushroom cats for my sister's birthday's card because it was her birthday on the 1st of March, and my other sister will be having a birthday coming up soon too, but not sure what to get her yet, but so I got a present, but I need to make a birthday card, so that's what I'm gonna do with this video. Hopefully I don't make too many mistakes. But so besides drawing, I'll be building this model kit. Exciting. So I'm gonna try and make a video. I'll post this up on my TikTok first to let you guys know. So if you want to check up on my YouTube video, it will have the full details there. I'll just show the finished product up on my TikTok. But so yeah, you'll get to watch me building this and doing some drawing then. So hope you have a chance to come around when I finally upload it and give my YouTube a chance, because maybe it will convince me, if my YouTube gets a bit bigger or my TikTok gets higher number or something, I can do a drawing video dedicating what you guys suggest. But I'm finally happy to get this Mimikyu model. I gotta build it. So anyway, yeah, so check that out when you have the chance. So anyway, hope you'll enjoy the video when you come around to check up on it, or when I start putting it together. So this is just the intro. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, I get always nervous with these intros. So anyway, thank you. And I hope you have fun. So here it is, drawing the mushroom cats first. So if you're not interested in watching me draw, just skip, I suppose, down to the model kit building of the Mimikyu Pokemon. But anyway, at the moment we're drawing mushroom cats. It's something I love drawing, and my sister likes cats too, and cute things like I do, and I think she did like playing Pokemon, but I think she's more interested in playing Monster Hunter. I've not really gotten into the gameplay of Monster Hunter. I mean, her and my best friend that lives over in Perth love playing Monster Hunter, so I have nothing against it. Just I'm more of a simple person. Pokemon seems to be more my thing. Like befriending animals and stuff, though I don't always enjoy making them fight each other, but I love more likely having the Pokemon and having them follow me around and sort of thing going on. But I'm looking definitely forward to the new Pokemon game and so on and so forth. But anyway, I love drawing mushroom cats, so if you follow me on my TikTok or my Instagram or even on my I'm not sure if I posted enough on my Tumblr or my Twitter, because I don't spend as much time on those two, except every once in a while to see if there's any updates from Jimmy and Tommy for there's some actors who play in some series. See if they're getting together to playing the next series together, because they're really good actors. I definitely say to support them. They're cute, and they're such good friends with each other too. But anyway, yeah, latest Pokemon game is coming out, I think, near the end of 2020, so hopefully I can wait, because there's some other series I want to watch as well. I've been watching a few BL series. I mean, I think you've seen me do fan art for that. Boys Love series, I mean, in other ways. I haven't seen that many Girls Love series yet that I've been really interested in. I know there's some really cute manga out there I need to get my hands on. Haven't had a chance, but I'm really enjoying Not Me. Bad Buddies is really good. I could recommend checking that out. I really love Cutie Pie so far. Is really good. I can't wait for when Middleman's coming out, and Bed Friends. They look really interesting. So series. I also like Lily Rider, but that came out already and it's finished, so you guys can watch it up on YouTube if you guys are interested in that. But Pokemon game is what we're talking about, I think. Rambling on in the background. Thoughts on the new game. I really do love the cat. I can't say its name. I'm bad with names. I can't say names without butchering them, so words fail me. I mean, I can come up with really cool stories, but trying to write them down because I'm not good with words. I had a real struggle time learning to read and write as a kid, so trying to even learn other languages and say their words without butchering it is really difficult for me. I mean, it's not that I haven't tried. Like in high school, they only gave us like sometimes only a month or even just a year to learn a language, and it didn't stick with me because learning with attention deficit disorder, I suppose, is a difficult task as it is, and I was already struggling with things, and I needed a lot of help. I'm good with reading now, but I can't read things out loud because I have a habit of butchering words, and at least I can sort of write now to a degree, but that took a lot of effort to get there. So I have an easier time drawing things. So when I was a kid, half the time when I wanted something, I couldn't write down the thing. What I would end up doing is drawing. Like, I'm not sure if you ever remember those Furbies or Pokemon things. I would do drawings of them. Though my drawings of Pokemon were really bad when I was a kid and didn't get better until later. But I have done some Pokemon fan art. I think you saw me trying to draw the new cat in a video, I think, before or after this. Yeah, before I posted this one. So when this gets posted, and it'll be posted by the time I get this finally trying to edit it and fix it up and stuff. I haven't got a computer to do all editing, so I do it all by phone or by my iPad. So it's yeah, I have to just edit it with all that with the little movie maker on the thing. So hopefully that app stays there. But anyway, you can see me drawing my sister's birthday card. Both of my sisters have their birthday in March, so they're both Pisces, of all things. The first one who's got a birthday is the middle child, which is Zoe, my sister Zoe. She's a bit of an artist herself, so she's pretty, and she and I used to like watching Sailor Moon a lot together when we were kids, and I got into the Pokemon anime. I didn't get into the games first until way later because I think, I did have a Game Boy, but it didn't have the right game to play with it. So I ended up playing like Mario games on there, but not all of them, just this Mario tennis game. Because that was like, but I wanted to play the original Pokemon games where you could catch things. But the Pokemon game I ended up getting was where you ended up pretending to be Pikachu and going through this maze. And I could never get far through it. It was boring. It wasn't as good. So I think it was a knockoff game. But I did appreciate that my dad did get it on one of his weird travels. So he did give us that. But I didn't get any other games to play on it. So usually half the time I ended up borrowing my sister's Mario Tennis game half the time to play when we were playing with that. Or I'd be like scribbling and drawing. Yes, I'm showing you one of the pens that I'm using. This one is the Copic Strong Red. The thing with Copic markers and markers that are like Copic, they have a tendency to bleed. And you can see that here with the paper. That kind will bleed on your paper. So it's like, if you want to line art before that, you have to make sure the pen won't end up bleeding with it, because some inks end up bleeding with the marker Copics, and sort of the ink will end up making things bleed. So half the time I don't start inking in my lines until after I finish coloring, because I'm a bit paranoid about all my inks being bled into each other from trials and errors. Sorry, I'm always rambling and I sort of switch topics all the time. I hope you guys don't mind. So yes, I'm drawing, as you can see, drawing a little cat here. Maybe I should stop talking and let you go through the whole thing, or I can just keep talking in the background if you guys don't mind. Let me know. I know there's a few of you following this account as well as TikTok, but if I get a bit better, maybe I'll try to do some lives on my YouTube as well. I do not know, or much to learn. Talking too much, but yes, anyway, mushroom cats, because they're cute, and I like drawing mushroom cats. But talking back on the new Pokemon game that's coming out, who knows what will happen if we get more updates sooner or later about the other Pokemon. But I have like a thought about why they haven't done Australia yet. Australia is a unique country, and if they were ever going to do that, but at the moment, the country they're doing now, I think, is Spain and Portugal. So a lot of the new Pokemon that's going to be based is probably myths and legends around Spain and Portugal, which will be interesting to see how that goes. I know nothing about these countries. I'm sorry, I know bloody well nothing. So, but I hope the cat that they do, the starter cat, I love the fact we got another starter cat, stays on all fours. Please, for heaven's sake, stay on all fours. It will be too much of a copycatting if they do it again with a cat that goes on 2 legs, because please don't do that. Please, please, please don't make it go on 2 legs. It should stay on 4. I want it to become like like a huge tiger thing or a lion thing that like, because it's a forest and grass theme thing, you could have like a whole forest theme going on it. Like, I'm not sure if you guys ever remember the old series. I know anyone who's millennial probably will remember the old series, the Never Ending Story series. There was a cartoon series and there was a few movies. I kind of liked them, but I don't know if everyone else did. And I know somewhere in there was this particular lion who would make the forest, would help trim the forest or something, and it was kind of cool how he would do it. He was like a fire lion of sorts, and or was it the other way around where he would make the things grow? I am not sure. Someone explain to me. But I mean, I'm thinking with the whole forest theme with this new cat, I could see it if it gets a huge mane. It would get like a huge mane, and you could have like mushrooms growing in places, and maybe even flowers, depending on maybe how it's brought up. Like, or like you could have two different types. Like if you have a female and a male type, the female might have more flowers, whereas the male might have mushrooms, or he would have like a huge mane of leaves with a few flowers in there, whereas a female would have like maybe a few flowers here and there. I don't know, I'm just spitballing ideas. It could be something else. But anyway, I hope it stays on all fours, because if it gets like its final evolution, and usually the final one is usually huge, it should be like a huge stay on all fours, and the rider and the Pokemon trainer could ride it, which would be awesome. Think about like when the He-Man series was around, He-Man had this huge tiger that was green, and he would ride it, and that would be like any kid's dream, to be able to ride a huge tiger or a lion without getting killed. So Pokemon could do that with their starter grass type Pokemon like that. That would be really awesome, because we don't want another Litten incident, because the way Litten started out, he was so good, and his middle evolution was good, but then they made him stand up. And I was like, why? Why do you give in to the furries like this? I mean, I have nothing against furries, but for heaven's bloody sakes, keep a cat like a cat. That's what the cat fans want. They don't want to do whatever the heck a furry wants to do. But I mean, like, well, no, not going there. But I mean, I don't want to have a cat up on two legs. I have a pet cat of my own. I was like happy to have Litten, because I was like, oh, it's a little fire cat, and it's making me think of my... Oops, I kind of got cut off there for a minute, so sorry about that. I accidentally pressed something wrong there, but anyway, I'm not perfect with editing. I'm better at drawing and building things and having fun when I'm not working at the kitchen hospital, so I don't think I can update as much as often. Whereas most people were stuck during all the lockdowns that we were having here in Australia. Unless you were like an essential worker, like what apparently I was for the kitchen hospital, and I still am considered. So when I have my days off, I'd be relaxing at home, I guess, but yeah. Anyway, back to talking about Pokemon. I've gotten sidetracked again, sorry. With the new a new little grass cat Pokemon this time, I'm hoping they keep it on all fours, because I don't think if Game Freak wants to do something new and not look like they're copycatting what they did the last time, or just renewing the thing, keep it on all fours, because they can make like a huge lion thing, like that electric lion that people liked. I mean, they could make it like the trainer could ride it when it gets to a certain huge size. It would be awesome. Keep it on all fours, because making just a tiny little cat for a starter is cool, and keep it on all fours. Don't make it like what they did with the Sun and Moon. I mean, I like the game, but I like Litten, but I didn't like the fact that its last evolution was on two legs in evolution. Its last evolution. I cannot say evolve right today. I am sorry. And another one of the markers showing sometimes it's fun when it bleeds, because sometimes you can have your colors bleed easily if you have that, and that's fun. But sometimes you don't want it to bleed either, so it's like you have to really play around with your colors. I like to mix medias when it's with drawing, which is fun, as you can see me doing here. So yeah, with the new Pokemon that's coming out, I definitely want it to stay on all fours. Oh, man, good. The duck looks alright. I have no idea where that's going, but I already decided I want the cat. All things considered, if there wasn't the cat, I probably would have gone with either the duck or the fire type, but like the fire type's fine too, but I think the duck's even cuter than that one. So they're all cute in their own way, but I mean the cat really wins me over because I'm a cat person. I like small cats and big cats, so, and stuff like that. But I mean, though not that I'd go and meet up with a wild cat. Like, I mean, wild animals you should leave alone. Don't be dumb. But I mean, in Pokemon, it's the one time you kind of want to be able to have a huge lion with maybe a green mane and plant-like abilities would be awesome. I mean, it could be a cave lion or a saber-toothed tiger. I do not know which of the two it will go for. Or anyway, I'm just thinking it's like a spitballing ideas, but keep it on all fours, man. Keep it on all fours. Don't wreck it this time, Game Freak and Nintendo. Just don't wreck it, please. Yeah. Whew. Man, I overshadowed too much. Sorry, I'm not even talking about the drawing process here. Like, I can show you that I've been showing some of the pens and stuff I've been using. This is my little white pen that I use. It's not always fantastic for everything because I need light space to get it to go further, but sometimes it helps me with some of my little white spots. And it's looking like it's helping this time around. I had a lot of fun scribbling this drawing. It's more of a scribble drawing card that I'm making for my sister, as I said. And I'm, while talking about Pokemon, I think reason they haven't done like anything in Australia yet is, well, we have a lot of very, very unique animals and fauna here. They would have to make a whole new set, like not just a tiny set. They have to make a whole big, huge set of Pokemon if they did anything in Australia, because there's too many unique animals and bugs, and even myths and legends are going on here too. Not just the bunyip, there's another forest spirit, I think it's called a yowie, and I think some of the, not to be confused with a Japanese term with what some of the boys love manga, but there is a special kind of creature here called a yowie of sorts, I think. I'm not sure I mentioned its name right, so that could cause some kind of confusions. There are some myths and legends about, like, there's this one legend of a river somewhere, and the people are not meant to go swimming there, but it says usually men get drowned there because a lady drowned there looking for her lost love or something. And then there's a pub somewhere, like for ghost tales of, there's a pub where they say you can get kidnapped at night and taken off to join a ghost ship of some sort. I don't know all the tales, but we have lots of interesting things going on. Like, there's also a legend going around, like there was like a group of Black Panthers that somehow got out of the circus and have been roaming the country, but no one's been able to find them because it's like it's somehow gotten free and managed to live it. But it's a sort of myth and legend in that regard too. It was in the newspaper a year back or something. I don't remember the whole details, but I thought it was a funny thing to hear about. Like they looked like a black. And then there's like myths and legends that sometimes down in Tasmania that there's still some remnants of the Tasmanian tiger still in existence, but we're not sure. But that went extinct. So we have animals that have gone extinct here too if you want to do fossil-like animals. So you would have to do a whole new list of Pokemon, and they'd probably have to do a whole lot of research on all the animals and all the flora and all the bugs. And if they want to bring back some of the well-known Pokemons to a region, like if they do based around Australia, they would have to make some of them more like introduced Pokemon, like introduced species, because Australia does have some introduced species, but they're introduced and sometimes they cause havoc. Depending on how, like we would have, they would have some cat Pokemon here, but they would probably have them feral and so they would be more like a feral version. Like if they had a Meowth, they would be more of a feral Meowth, or like the cat starter from that's coming in for Generation 9. So I suppose if Australia was ever going to get done, it would probably be Generation 10 if we're lucky. But they would have to do like. They could probably do that buffalo Pokemon, I can't remember what its name, as an introduced species as well that would be hanging around the rivers causing havoc that way too, so they'd have to catch them. then they could do the fire Pokemon, that Ponyta? No, that's not his name, but like just do that fairy Pokemon or that other one, and they would have to change it. Like, it would be changed in Australia too, but it'd be an introduced species, so it would be kind of like how when you went and did Pokemon Sun and Moon, some of the Pokemon would change when they came to the country because it's based in how Hawaii has it. So, like, also when it comes to some of the pollution problems, maybe they would take the whole... No, I don't think we have, like, would have all those things, but some Pokemon would be here. Like, there would be Pikachus here in Australia, but they would be like an introduced species, and I would like to see them try to do a wild version of a Pikachu, because that's what we would probably have here, because we have a bit of a mouse problem, but we also have native mice, which would be very different. They would have to do, like, a different design. So, like, for instance, like the animals we have, I would love to see... They've already done, like, a koala when they did Sun and Moon, but I don't think they'll be bringing that. They would have to do koalas. They would do a bit of differently in Australia, because outside, the koalas probably would not be able to live outside Australia so easily, because they only like to eat eucalyptus leaves, and they're very fussy eaters, so they would rather starve than eat anything that's not eucalyptus. So then if they have them here in Australia, they would probably be more awake, because if like a Pokemon region based in Australia, they would have to make the koalas, like, they could be a bit more awake and stuff. Like, there's also animals that are like some of our fossils here. There's a big places where you can find fossils, and sometimes like over in Ayers Rock, or there's some opal mining areas, so they would probably make some Pokemon gyms based on opals, because Australia has easier chance of getting opals here in places. And they even found a fossil of a ancient seal that its bones becoming like opals, so it's pretty cool if you ever have a chance to see that in a museum. But anyway, so they could probably end up doing a funny... Like, we have, like, a special kind of penguin in one of our islands here, too. And we have cute little creatures like the Padminton, and then you have the bilby. Our kangaroo, they'd have to do a new kangaroo, because... Oh, my God. Excuse me, that means Mum's doing something. Yeah, sorry, ignore the background noise. Mum's listening to something. Hopefully it doesn't come into the recording, so don't ask me. I will try to record this without that. So anyway... As I was talking, why I think it's taking them so long to do a region in Australia, they would have to do some of the other Pokemon, if they want to bring them back from other games into Australia, they would have to make some of them introduced species that have changed a bit when they got to Australia, because not all of them would probably be going, like, they have to redo the kangaroo, because the one they said was based on a kangaroo is nothing like the kangaroos and wallabies and stuff like that, and we have bilbies and stuff like that. They would have to redesign a whole new set of Pokemon if they ever did anything Australia. That's probably why they haven't come and done Australia yet. Like the koala, at least, is somewhat that they did in Sun and Moon, is somewhat connected to. But we have our own set of native bees here, and they are adorable. Like, there's one that's called the teddy bear bee, and it's super fluffy, and it's it doesn't have like a hive nest like some other bees do. It's more like a singular sort of thing. And then there's this other bee, it's called the blue banded bee, and it is adorable. It's more blue, so they have to base Pokemon on those things. And we have definitely so many spiders. They would have to make a lot of different spider-like Pokemon. Oh boy, some of them would probably be freaky and poisonous, because a lot of spiders here are kind of on the poisonous side, so we have to be careful with how we handle them. And we can't leave our shoes outside, because one will come and nest in your shoes. So if you've left your shoes outside, you have to knock them out and make sure you get the spiders out of your shoes. And all sorts of things. And the trainers, if they do, they have to make the trainers a little bit more tougher, because Australia is, unless you're in the city, if you're like out in the countryside, they would have to learn to be a bit more on the tough side. And I don't think they would it would be, so yeah, I mean, like, they would have to have Pokemon to guide them around, like special. And the starter Pokemon would be interesting too, because you have, like, for water, I would recommend they do a platypus, because that is one of our most known water ones. So we'd have to do like a platypus as a starter. And then for Earth, I think they would have to do like a kangaroo or something like that. Yeah, I think a kangaroo, or no, I think maybe a fire type, kangaroo type starter Pokemon is what they should do. Like they make it like a little Joey first, and then they make it like a medium, and then like that, and then, or they would make it more of an Earth. I'm wondering who would suit best for fire. Oh, I suppose they could do an Echidna. They would have to redesign a new Echidna as a starter. That would be better for Earth actually as an Echidna, because they have spines and they bury in the earth. So they'd be like a dig type of starter Pokemon, would be like based around the Echidna. I love the Echidna. There's 2 types of Echidnas in the world, but Australia has like this unique little Echidna. And then we have little Bilbies and all sorts of different kinds, like the hopping mouse, the desert hopping mouse is really cute. They would have to base like Pokemon on that. They have so many animals here, so, and myths and legends as well, if that's not always told about, because many people are still stuck on the old things. So that's like they would have to do a whole lot of different things. That's probably why it's taking them so long, because they have to do a whole lot of research on, because like in Australia we have our native bees here as well, and they how do I put this? I'm nearly finished with this drawing here, and I think this is going to be a long video, isn't it? I'm sorry, you guys could probably skip over this and go on to that, or you could probably mute my talking and put some other music in the background if you're not interested in hearing me ramble on constantly. But I'm like drawing here. It's nearly finished. I'm just fixing up details. Like as a city, I like to mix and match my media, and the card's now just about finished. On top of my sketchbook there, but anyway, and now we're starting on the Mimikyu model building, and this is from Bandai. They've done a few kind of little Pokemon model builds. I ended up getting a few of the Eevees and a few Pikachus, but I wanted to get some of the other Pokemon, but I haven't seen any that I want to build that seem on my thing. But Mimikyu is definitely one of the ones I like. I haven't seen any of the ghost Pokemon I like to be put as a model build yet, because I like some of them, and some of the fairy type too. Man, I would love to build some of them, but yeah, in Australia, there's only so much of the Pokemon stuff that gets here. Sad face, sad face, sad face. But anyway, I am building my latest model. This is Mimikyu, and then I'm just getting the pieces together. The kits are usually pretty easy when it comes to maybe... So far, I found some of the kits are relatively easy to build. Doesn't require any glue, which is a godsend to me, because sometimes I make a mess when I'm painting and with glue and stuff. No tools required or anything, so it's pretty cool. So definitely pretty good fun. I'm loving the Mimikyu. It's like they've been constantly trying to redo a Pikachu like Pokemon for a while, and then they came across Mimikyu and they hit a gold mine. I love the story behind Mimikyu too. I mean, I felt so bad for it when you read its story. But yeah, as I said, with Australia, we could probably even have our own Mimikyu, I suppose, but mice are not that popular here, so I wouldn't see a Pipikyu, because when they get out into the wild, like we would have like wild versions of Pikachu here, but they would be morphed to change a bit to suit the Australian climates and stuff. Like there was this introduced species of a frog, well not a frog, a toad, and it's caused havoc in parts of the place, and it's taken over from... Yeah, no one should have introduced that. What scientist thought it was a good idea to introduce a frickin' toad, the cane toad, which causes so much trouble and went after the native life and stuff. Yeah, I made a few mistakes here I had to fix. It's like, fix. I stuck it in wrong, so I just had to quickly fix it. So I'm like making the model here, but it's relatively easy to build these little models so far, but I think the more complex models will be a bit harder. Like the more detailed the Pokemon, the harder I think the model will be to build. I haven't come across any of the Eevee evolutions. I wanted to build the fairy one, and I think I wanted to build the ice one, because they're some of my favorites, and the leaf one was pretty cool. But I really wanted to build a model of the fairy one, but I haven't seen it come anywhere here to Australia yet. I might have to... I think the only chance I'll come across is online, and I don't want to order too much things online because there's been a hard time getting orders over here. So And I want to just make sure I save it for books I'm after. So I don't want to buy too many models because I want to make sure I keep space more for my books. And I have Lego stuff I want to build too, so I need to get around to that. So building the Mimikyu. But yeah, as I said, I was rambling on back there. My theories is why it's taking them so long to do a version in Australia is because they would have to do a whole new types of bug Pokemon, because we have like at least... How many was the last count? And some still haven't even been discovered, or some of the Australian native flora and fauna, like some of the native bees, we have more than one type depending which state you are in. So, and Australia is like considered the world's largest island, but also the world's smallest continent, so it's a pretty big place. So you would have to have that, and the Pokemon trainers, if they would have it based in Australia, would have to have a good way of maybe being able to carry water with them, and sunscreen, and ways to keeping flies and bugs off, because mosquitoes are here are absolute madmen, and the flies always go after you too. So, so they would have to be like, really have to do their research, and it's probably going to be very difficult, and it would take a long time. So they'd have to do a big load of new, they would have to design a whole new set of Pokemon, because Australia has a lot of creatures that you don't find anywhere else around the world. I mean, every place has their own unique creatures, but Australia is bigly known for having a lot of unique creatures. All I've known in flora and fauna, like they would have to do new grass type Pokemon, they'd have to do new fire types, they'd have to do, not only based on Myth and Legend, but on the creatures here too, because we have a lot of different native animals, fish. People come here down, though sometimes we have people coming from Japan to go fishing for the fish here. So, like, out over the fishing area, and then they'd have to design a new whale Pokemon, actually, because we're very big on keeping our whales. Actually, maybe they probably keep the same, but, there's, like, people come down to Australia to check out our little fairy penguins. They're tiny and they're cute, and there's a special little island for them, which is protected, so no one can build anything there. And then you have the Padmintons, which are adorable. Smiling little creatures. They're kind of like a wallaby, yet not like a wallaby, and a wallaby's like a small kangaroo, but not I love the rock wallabies. They're adorable. And you'd have to do different types of kangaroo type creatures and wallabies and stuff, like Pokemon based on those creatures, because we have a lot of different ones. I suppose they could still fit in that kangaroo from the original game, the kangaroo, like the one that's supposed to be like a kangaroo, but it's nothing like any of the kangaroos here, so they'd have to reevaluate it and change things around. But they could probably do it out in the big desert-like areas or something, and they'd have to develop new dog-like Pokemon, but not a dog, but a dingo, which is a wild dog we have here, and those can be vicious if they're wild. The only chance you would get to check one out is in the zoo, if they have it. So we have all sorts of different types of wallabies and kangaroos and stuff. Like you have the red kangaroo, and then there's another type, I think, I've forgotten. And then emus. Emus, they definitely would have to do different bird type Pokemon. We have so many different kinds of birds. Like, some people can have budgies as pets, don't realize they're native here to Australia. And then you have the cockatoos, and you have the galahs, and then you have the rainbow lorikeets, and there's another rosellas, I think they call them. And then there's these black cockatoos, and yeah, and then the kookaburras, and then there's two types of kookaburras depending which state you're in, and there's different states have different sort of insect life. So the funnel web spider is the worst, so if they do a Pokemon, they'd have to do like a spider one that's the worst thing ever, and it's creepy. They'd also have to do like a new type of crocodile Pokemon, because we have crocodiles, and I think we have we don't have alligators, we have crocodiles, and they would have to be very fierce. And they would probably have to design a better shark Pokemon, because we do have sharks sometimes pop up. That's why we have thing, and then we'd have probably to have to design the people in different too, because you'd have to do the Aborigines, you have to do it, but they have to be very careful, because if you get the Aboriginal culture wrong, you can really insult things, so you have to really do your research on the myths and legends from the Aborigines. There's a lot from them, and you would have to be they have Dreamtime stories, so yeah. heck is Mum watching? Anyway, so yeah, as my theories as to why it's taking them so long, because they really need to do their research. Because big thing here is you want to do anything with the Aborigines, you have to respect their culture, and you have to make sure you get it right, and you better talk with them about it and not be dicks. Because if you don't, you can cause yourself right lot of bad luck. Like over in Ayers Rock, there's people who sometimes try to take rocks from there, and then they end up getting cursed. So usually tell you not to, and there's like all this mail that the park rangers there get from people sending the pieces of rock they picked up back to them, because they end up getting really bad, like super bad luck for picking it up. So they have to send it back. Like one French dude even put the rock that he got encased into resin or something and sent it back to them. I'm like, they went that far a length to try and get rid of the curse, and then in the end you had to send it back to the park. So it's very funny. So don't pick up any rocks from Ayers Rock, because it's meant to be considered like the heart of Australia or something. So you have to treat that with lots of respect, and you have to, that's like considered to Aboriginal culture now. That people used to be able to climb it, but then yeah, that's now you can't climb the Ayers Rock anymore because it's considered disrespectful, so you better stop. But yeah, you can go visit it over there. Ayers Rock is interesting. It's the people there would have to live underground because it gets so hot over there that during the day they have to be underground. So like you would have to design actually the people there would have to design like people living underground, have a whole story about that. And I think somewhere near there is an opal mining, or somewhere else for fossils. It depends which parts of Australia you're in. And then there's like different states in Australia, like each different sort of, like, we like to jokingly say that Queensland's like the party state, whereas Australia, Sydney, where I am, is considered more like the tourist trap area, like New South Wales, Sydney, and then Canberra's like the where all the politics get done. So it's like the Parliament House is there, so you'd have to like do like a whole business. I'm like not sure how you would design that, but I've been there a few times for school trips. Because most school trips had us going there a few times to learn about the whole, the government's run or something like that. And then in each state, it's got a different thing going. The Simpsons did not cover anything what they do in Australia that well. It is so out of whack. But they were just doing a joke though, based on movies. They didn't really. The creators have never really been to Australia, so I don't expect them to really know what they're doing. But Pokemon's the type, the Pokemon creators like Game Freak and Nintendo seem the type to actually go in and do their research. So I think maybe it's probably why it's taking them so long to do anything about Australia, is they would have to do a lot of research on all the creatures and all the myths and legends, and really have to understand the Aboriginal culture, because I mean, it's they go through a lot of things here, so you have to be really make sure you know your information, because if you get it wrong, it can really piss people off. So that's my guess is why it's taking them long. But anyway, I am excited for the new Gen 9 generation Pokemon. I was surprised that they were going to do a new game so soon, but at the end of the year, I'll be happily looking forward to that. Hopefully they have some time to really get everything they need out, and there'll be some new Pokemon to chase down. I mean, the old Pokemon's fun to chase down too, but finding some new Pokemon will be fun. But yeah, as I said, my theories on why they haven't done. And I've finished building the model and the drawing's done, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. But that is my guess on why they haven't done Australia yet, why it's taking them so long, because there's a lot of things they have to unpack. They would have to create a whole new set of Pokemon and so on. But anyway, so thank you for listening to me rambling, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video of me building this Pokemon, Mimikyu, and the drawing. Thank you, bye!